Imagine belonging to the world's greatest Patreon.
The Bombadcast presents the one and only club, a Patreon experience.
Ran by the most Bombad hosts of all time.
Let's be honest here. You'd be the biggest poodoo ever
That is Star Wars talk for a piece of shit.
if you didn't join this Patreon. I mean, you'd be an absolute dumb.
The one and only club, Patreon Experience, is not sold in stores.
It's just 12 easy payments of $6.99 a month for the rest of your life.
But wait, use your card right now to sign up for it. Scotty and Jerry, that's me, will give you a shout out live on the air.
There will be 10 unique perks. 10 unique perks for you if you join this Patreon. And it's hosted by two of the greatest people that ever existed.
Scotty J-Ro?
And me, Jerry Cable.
Can't beat that. Broadcast to dozens of people.
How many of you have been dared to jump a ditch with no shoes on?
Why would you ask that?
Well, if you did it and you're still here, please join the Bombadcast Patreon.
Come on. What's he gonna spend it on? Food?
Being a part of the Bombadcast Patreon is not a bad idea at all. Simply because, well, you don't really have that many good ideas. You're kind of an idiot. You're watching this.
That's absolutely right. Live on air, satisfaction guaranteed.
I hope you enjoy it.
It's so dense. Every single image has so many things going on.
Remember, when joining this Patreon, make sure you
Stay Bombad.
stay Bombad.
Stay Bombad.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
Welcome to the
Bombadcast. I am from the Upper West Side. Where you came? Where you came to this stream?
Probably my favorite character of all time. What is his name?
Oh, Janosch Poha.
Janosch
Dr. Janosch Poha.
Oh
Yes,
my God.
yes, welcome. Oh, look at all the goo in the chat.
Ooh.
Yes, oh my goodness. Listen, the jokes aren't gonna get any better than that. He is
They're
Vigo. Yes. Man, there's like let me look up the actor's name again, because goddamn, one of the better, like one of the great acting, like, comedy performances of the series besides Louis Tully. So let me see here.
Do you see the chat, Jerry? I don't know if you saw it this time. Did that fix it or no?
I see the chat. Yes, it is. Listen, it is just dripping with goo. Look at it.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. They call them the Bomb Bastards, and they're in control. That's right, Travis Mitchell.
Damn straight,
Amen.
Travis. Damn
Preston.
straight.
Prestonio, it's so nice to see you, brother. Hey, everyone, welcome to this Thursday evening. Watch the Bombadcast. Just to let you know, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. I know we're seeing Dune this week. We're going to talk about it. Maybe we might just do a podcast on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see.
We might get
But
a pod. Yeah. It's
what you
coming,
got going on? What you got going on? This Tuesday, we're going to record this soon, Jerry. We're going to talk about the Ghostbusters music from the soundtrack to the score.
Yes.
Then next Thursday, we're talking Ghostbusters Lost Media. So we're looking at the cartoons and some of the weird commercials we end up finding. On 3/12, which is the following Tuesday, we're going to discuss what some would consider a controversial movie amongst Facebook boomers. The 2016
yes, many boomers cried out in absolute just fear of women. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're talking about it.
Then on Pi Day, we're gonna talk about the game from 2009, which is pretty awesome. And then of course, Afterlife from this podcast. The dude, 3/21. Did you get your tickets? The tickets went on sale today, Jerry. Ghostbusters
So,
Frozen Empire.
I got my ticket. So my parents are actually going to be coming up to visit, and they just so happen to choose the weekend that Ghostbusters came out, which is crazy.
Okay.
I've told you all, if you're a fan of the show, if you've been following us for a while, you know that like one of the first things that infiltrated my mind and just ensured that I was going to be a just bitter, horrible nerd for the rest of my life was my parents took me at 3 years old to watch Ghostbusters 2 in the cinema. And I didn't understand it for the longest time. We talked about how for the longest time, I didn't realize it was Ghostbusters 2 in my little kid brain. I thought there was a third Ghostbusters somewhere that I had somehow seen, but couldn't really remember it. I was like, where's the Ghostbusters 3 with the statue that takes over everything?
Yes.
And stuff. And it was Ghostbusters 2. And my very Christian parents just don't have a problem with ghost and ghost busting. So I was blessed. But where was I going with that? I can't even remember. Remember. Hope you're doing well. Yes, Travis.
Because this is my favorite Ghostbusters movie too. And I was surprised with how much I liked it. And yes, look at this. There's 4 female Ghostbusters, Boop. Unbelievable. Makes you want to drink Tabasco sauce. I can't believe it. Makes me want to put it in my penis hole.
Makes me want to put a dick in my mouth for God.
We said 2 really messed up shit one after another. Put Tabasco sauce in my penis hole.
Right in the hole, right down the barrel.
Oh, I'm dying. Oh, I love this movie. I will say I do love this movie. I love.
Oh man, yeah, we got our tickets.
Yeah.
We got our tickets for Frozen Empire.
Yes.
My parents are coming up. I've got tickets for all 3 of us to go see it. I'm probably not going to take my 6-year-old, which if I want to be like my parents, it's too late to take her to a Ghostbusters movie. Yeah. So, but anyway, it's going to be such a great time. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
I cannot wait. We're going to be very emotional. So our plan is, and it might be a long night. We're going to go see it. Then we're going to come back and maybe do a quick review of it. And we may end up doing a longer discussion later. But we're also doing Bad Batch discussions every Wednesday at 7 p.m. There will be no permanent link for that. It's just going to show up on your feed so you can enjoy it. Look at this, Reed, one of my students. I love you, Reed. Glad to see you and your buddy.
Hey, what's up, Reed? And we'll maybe real quick up top, we should start plugging that we have a giveaway coming up next.
Oh my God!
Too.
Yes,
we've been kind of talking about it. I'm not going to show the code this time. I'm not going to show the code, but we have digital codes for Ghostbusters 1 and 2, the films. And we have a code for Ghostbusters 1 and 2. They come together. And AO. Anyway, we listen. So if you come next week, we're going to be giving away these copies, these digital copies, so that you can catch up and be ready with us. Now, we don't have any digital copies of any of the other films, but
just these.
I mean, listen, it's easy to get caught up if you want to watch along with us and things like that. It's going to be a good grand old time. So
can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah. Remember, hey, tell your friends. We're going to be giving away Ghostbusters 1 and 2 digital code next week.
Next Thursday, we're looking at Lost Media. So do me a favor, Jerry. Can you tell us? Can you tell the audience what we did? Not yesterday, but the day before. You and I had a little powwow.
So
hung out.
y'all know we did our little guerrilla stream where we
Yes.
just like popped in, like didn't tell anyone we were going live, and we were like, we
Yeah.
were just going to record, I think, and
Yeah.
release it, and then we were like, fuck it, let's just go
Let's
live.
just go live.
And see
Yeah.
see what happens there. Give it away now. Listen, if you guys
Give it away now.
give it away now. Give it away. Listen, if we got enough people in here who want it, we'll have to see. You know, like let's give it a chance to kind of marinate. Let's get some people here. You know, let's give some other people a chance because I know you. Listen, y'all want it while the pickings are easy right now.
That's right. I know. Just 6
You should.
people.
If you're in this chat, you should already own the movie.
Yeah. So you and I had a wonderful night on Tuesday, right before your birthday, right
Yes,
before
we
you
did.
turned. Right before you turned 29, and you and I got to hang out.
Oh, no,
and
I
we-
turned 16.
Oh, sorry, for your 15th birthday. To ring in your 16th birthday, we decided to. That's
Sweet
so
16.
stupid.
I'm
Happy
with ringing my
16th
sweet
birthday.
16. We watched the cult classic Ghostbusters 2.
The occult classic.
I'm the ghost.
The-
like, I'm the thing.
The occult classic. The occult classic.
The occult classic. Yes, right here.
So we watched it, and I hadn't seen it in a very long time. I hadn't seen it since Afterlife came out. And I watched it. I did not realize how damn funny that movie was. My dad
Right.
says you guys.
Fun
are
fact.
full of crap.
Fun fact. By the way, the kid who gives that line, Travis, you may know this already. That is Jason Reitman, son of Ivan Reitman, director. Ivan Reitman, the director of these movies. Jason Reitman, the director of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yep.
And also co-writer with Gil Keenan on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Incredible.
But anyway,
I love it. So
he says you guys just are full of crap. So
I was watching this movie with you kind of with a little fresh set of eyes, and I did not realize how much more I'd enjoy this movie. But maybe it's because I'm in the season.
so much.
You know, I'm going through this, watching all
Oh,
these movies. But man, I loved Ghostbusters 2. I think I liked it more because these characters are already established. The sense of humor between
Right.
everyone's already established. The relationships are already established. So when you go ahead and you kind of eased into this one, I was blown away. The music was better. Somehow even the cinematography was a little bit better. And yes,
Yeah.
Charlie, waking up at
Charlie!
it's like one of the
What's up,
let me see,
buddy?
hold on. I have his time on my phone. It is London time. It's 6 hours from now in London. It's literally 2:15 in the morning for Charlie.
Fuck yeah. Welcome
Yeah,
to
baby.
2:15. Time to talk about Ghostbusters 2. Hell
He's
yeah.
half
dude.
he's half
I
chub.
love-
Woke up from a wet dream.
Oh, fuck
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're talking about Ghostbusters 2. Oh,
Half chub
I'm gonna get out of
Charlie. Half
I'm
chub
making me own
Charlie.
river of
I'm gonna
slime.
wake it. I'm gonna wake it.
I'm making me own river of slime. Oh, no. Anyway. No, so what I loved about watching that with you is that you said you had only seen it once before as an
Once
adult.
before.
And it was
yes.
like right before Afterlife.
July. It was
And
great.
it was fun just getting to like, because we like anytime we get the chance to watch a movie together, we kind of talk through it, or we pause and talk. But it's such a fun experience. And I honestly I'm very, very, very happy that you were so
loved it.
enamored with it, because
God, I
think
loved
that
it.
This movie doesn't get enough love, and in fact gets a
No.
little bit of hate that I think is, I mean, your mileage may vary. You don't have to like what you don't like and everything, but
course.
like I think this is overly hated. You know,
Mhm.
much like our namesake of the podcast down here, Mr.
Yes,
Jar
there
Jar
he is.
Binks. So
This one is sexier. It's a sexier movie, and I mean
Definitely.
That,
Viggy. There's so many great lines in this.
there
one.
is, dude. Yeah,
We're gonna have
I
to
was
do
watching
famous
this.
lines in a little bit.
I was watching this one, and I'm like, man, this movie is just it's sexier. It's a little bit edgier, you know. It's a little bit more a little bit more panache, as you would say. I liked it, made me feel tight, made me feel good. I also liked how palatable it is. There was you didn't have to overcome some boundaries. In the first one, I'm like, okay, this is obviously made in the 80s, but the special effects were better in this one. The overall feeling of this one was like, we're just going to make a sequel. It's not going to be a challenging sequel. It's not going to make you question what you think of the universe. And no one's going to die. It's still going to be a happy ending. Like at no point, and then it's even cooler because you even got more Ghostbusters by the end of it. Like it builds, it works really well. You know, I love Rick Moranis in this one. Rick Moranis is even funnier somehow in this one. I can't believe it.
The fact that they brought back the character of Louis Tully from the first one, and a lot of it is because, and I'm trying to remember if he came back into the cartoon before the second one came back out and he was still in it. I don't think that he was until the second one came out, and then he was in the cartoon with Janine and all that kind of stuff.
Okay,
but yeah, no, you know, like just to bring him back was a fantastic choice. Like it adds so much, like just charm.
Yes, of course.
Like that guy has a lot of charm and stuff. Like we've got our like sort of villain who's also very hilarious in Janos Poha. It's kind of a bumbling creep who like a not very dangerous creep, except for the fact that he does get possessed by this ancient
warlord,
evil sorcerer, ghost and things like that. But you mentioned the special effects, and you know we talked on our. If you guys, I don't know if you've listened to our Ghostbusters podcast that released this week. Go back, go listen to that and stuff. We talk a little bit about the behind the scenes. I think it was Richard Edlund who had left Lucas left ILM. Did the special effects for the first movie, but for this movie, it's ILM all the way, baby. So this is all. I was gonna say you saw some things, right?
Like when we were at
Brothers and stuff. When you tour.
Exactly. Whenever I had the privilege to go tour Lucas and with Pablo Hidalgo, I did happen to see an amazing couple of animatronics. I saw the Scolari brothers, and I also saw Slimer, which is pretty cool. I saw Facelift Slimer. And you know what? I want to bring this up too.
Slimer.
I got one thing that works so well with both of them, Travis Mitchell says, is amongst the comedic characters, Sigourney always plays it like legit horror, acting her ass off. The beginning, the cold open had me kind of like on my toes. I was like, oh, I forgot how like intense this was. Everyone's mad at each other, and you can't really figure out why. And they're like, it's just New York. Everyone's mad at each other in New York, but it plays so much more into the story. And if I'm going to be honest with you, the theme of this movie is much more fulfilling than the first one. Because the first one's like overcoming odds. This one's like, people are mad at each other. We need to overcome those things and find peace. And it's all, it's all that. Honest to God, it's all that. And like, I agree right here. The biggest criticism seems to be that it's the same film, which is true. But like, I like that. I kind of like it's an extension of the first one. I really do.
You
like
were talking about how it's just a sequel. It's just more of these characters. It's not like some big universe changing thing. Also, the soundtrack is very underrated. And Charlie, I don't know if you've seen again on our little thing here. We are going to be talking soundtrack in a couple weeks. I think on one of the podcasts.
And look, I'll show everyone. I added it to my albums. I added it on my rotating playlist right there. Ghostbusters.
It's a solid list, man. It's
good.
A solid album.
Look at that.
But no, you know, like you talked about that. Like, I mean, back then you could kind of just do a sequel, and it's just like, oh man,
started playing.
It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best copyright strike of all time. But no, you know, like, to just have a sequel that is just we're on another adventure with these guys. And does it follow the same formula in the way that it has a couple of montages, like where they're back in business and then where they like, sure, but that's like that's the same argument that people used, I feel like, for The Force Awakens of like, oh, it's just a New Hope.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what this is. Because this is like you're saying, this is a completely unique story. So the first one, you've got a ancient Babylonian god is being resurrected in this place because this old dude built this Aleister Crowley type built this tower and everything, and like set it up so the end of the world would happen.
Yes.
And in this one, it's this like ancient sorcerer guy who's like, they said in some of the behind the scenes stuff I saw, I try to watch a little bit. There's not as much as there is for Ghostbusters right now. But was it? They said they wanted to have an actual ghost
Yeah.
as the villain in this one, and so you've got Vigo, who was an actual person, but was like this sorcerer who, like, very, very Palpatine-esque in, like, getting all these like weird esoteric powers and everything, and transcending death.
Yes.
And just the whole thing with the slime just being a byproduct of this dude and everything, like, or something that was like powering his return and things like that.
And
was
the
just
malice,
such
the
a cool
hatred.
concept.
A brilliant concept, but I also want to agree with Charlie. The sequel works because
Yes.
it may repeat the same plot, but the jokes are so much sharper in this movie.
They're so good.
They're so much better.
Do you want to talk a little bit about some of that humor and stuff then? I mean,
Please,
like,
by
now,
all
because
means.
we've got, like, I mean, just from the opening too. Like, you got that very crazy sequence of the stroller going out in the middle of traffic, which was a cool sequence. Just a cool sequence to begin with. Theme song, and boom, we're back into we're gonna see where everybody's at right now. And we got, like, the first of all, having them go somewhere in the ecto and revealing that it is a children's birthday party.
So freaking funny.
It's so fun. It's
so great.
And
but
also,
like
you find out that the theme song is diegetic music.
Yes, and they are doing the little dance from the music video in the actual thing. So what I really like too is that this is 5 years after the original. So is there, Jerry, do you know, is there any reason for the delay in terms of it, like, release? Was it the writing? Was there any sort of, like, why did they wait so long between 84?
I'm not sure, honestly, why they waited 5 years, but I mean, it probably they watched the cartoon get ramped up and everything like that, and the toys started selling like hotcakes.
Probably.
And I think, honestly, this is probably, and I mean no disrespect in saying this, this is a big let's make more money move.
Of course.
The first one was huge. Let's make another one. We'll see if we get, like, we're gonna make some big bucks on this thing.
Yeah.
Which is like that's what got it greenlit to the studio. But honestly, like, I don't know if there was any, like, thing that was holding them back, if they're waiting on a story to kind of materialize or something. But I don't know. I find it interesting that it is like they did hit that title card is kind of like, whoa, like the 5 years later is very like, very kind of crazy.
You when we were watching it, you said it reminds you of another movie, and I thought it was a hilarious
well, whenever I watched Avengers Endgame, or like, it was Avengers Endgame, and you had the 5 years later pop up. I like went in my head. I was like, oh, they're doing a Ghostbusters 2 kind of thing. Okay, all right, here we go. Everything relates back to Ghostbusters for me.
Yes. So when you saw it, you were like, well, there's going to be a reverse slime. There's going to be a whole lot of stuff in this movie that I didn't expect to happen. Yeah, man. I was really enjoying the overall design of this movie, if that makes any sense. It feels a little bit sharper. I like that the Ecto one looks cleaner, later when they show it. But I also like that at this point, even though they saved New York once, everyone thinks they're hacks now, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
5 years later, no one can give a bigger shit. And then, of course, as the movie goes on, they're getting trialed because of what was the main reason? It's because they were
so they caused a blackout. Well, for one thing, they dug a hole in the middle of
a
city street,
yes,
and then they caused a blackout. So
the plot is
very
weird.
illegal. Listen, it's weird, but like I said, like, listen, Ghostbusters have been like they're very fight the power from the beginning. So I have to say, but it's a very weird. I love how bonkers the plots are for these things.
Look at this. Look at Charlie.
My
My understanding is that they
they also wanted enough time to have a realistic timeline for Dana to have a failed relationship with Peter, and then the violinist having Oscar. That's very true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it's funny. I wanted to talk about this. So we're gonna cover Afterlife in the next couple of weeks. But I get it. This is the one that's like, this is kind of, how should I say this? This is like a very funny, just second movie. And it does do some dramatic stuff. But I do like that Afterlife is more of a drama. It is a comedy too, but it's definitely a lot more of a drama when you're watching it.
It is, and well, you know, my thing on that is I feel like a lot of it has to do with they were making that one for Harold. You know, they
Yes,
were making that for Harold Ramis. They wanted to kind of as a listen, this is all for you, friend. We love you, we miss you, kind of a thing. And then now, I mean, just everything coming out of this new movie. It's looking like it's going to be like maybe not even 2 hours long, and everything that we've got, it looks like it's just going to be wall to wall fun, and bonkers stuff.
Back in New York too, and so like I like that.
Back in the city.
Ghostbusters 2 is obviously in the city, and then we've got it, you know, an Afterlife. It's more in the country, more of the Midwest, but then now we're back to the city. So, do you think when it comes to Ghostbusters 2, will its legacy be acknowledged in, I guess you could say, in Frozen Empire? Do you have any idea? What do you think?
Well, if you've looked tirelessly at the Frozen Empire or at the Empire magazine articles and everything, there is a picture of Finn Wolfhard as Trevor up in the attic, and as we know, Slimer's up in the attic, which is kind of fucking great. I love that.
Yes.
But there is a box behind him that has the Ghostbusters 2 No Ghost logo. And I think people zooming in are thinking those are the hot beverage thermal mugs they were giving away to the kids. Like it's a box of those in the attic, which is kind of great, you know, like, and so it's like, this isn't like pulling a whole new Halloween franchise thing where it's like, oh, we're acting like 2 never happened. 2 did happen. Whether or not the video game that was written by Harold and Dan is canon anymore is yet to be seen. That could get like, and a lot of people say, oh, it was decanonized because of this new movie. I think it still works, honestly.
100%.
We'll talk. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about the game in a couple weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks from today, the game will be a huge discussion. We're going to watch a lot of gameplay from it because we won't get taken down if we do that, which is awesome. So, a few things I guess we could talk about
with Free Balloon. Exactly, Charlie.
Yes, Free Balloon. Yes. Another thing we could talk about in terms of like this being a movie that actually stands on its own. The orchestral music is so different than the Albert Bernstein version. It feels a little bit more 80s, a little bit more, has a little more punch up to it. It's got some synths in it. It's got some jazz in it.
Charlie, we'll hit you up. We'll hit you up.
100%.
Go ahead.
So the music is, I think, overall better than the first one. That's kind of a bold statement. But the soundtrack, I won't play the whole thing. But I've been playing this in my classroom. Maybe my kids have heard it. I've been playing
the Howard Huntsberry.
Higher and Higher. My preferred version now. I love it.
It's so joyous, and it fits the whole theme. So the whole theme of the movie is something, again, we were kind of talking about while watching it. It's almost something like the world needs now. And again, not saying that like a lot of the shit that's happening right now can be healed with just good vibes. But man, like I feel like as like art and escapism, you need kind of like that. Like Ghostbusters 2 is a great, just, man, the world kind of sucks. Wouldn't it be great if everyone got along? Wouldn't it be great if we could come together as just human beings and you know, just face down evil with good vibes, which would be really cool. Again, a lot of things have to like happen with other things. I'm not saying that like, oh, good vibes are all you need and stuff, but just like it's just a really comforting movie. It's a really comforting message of what we got here. In my headcanon, the Howard Huntsberry version is simply the Jackie Wilson version, but the slime simply amplifies I love that.
The build up is really cool. Freaking good. And like the whole moment at the end, I think this is overall a happier movie. And Ghostbusters was obviously a fun, happy movie, but like you're at the late 80s, you're towards the 90s, you know, the editing and everything just feels different. And it is all about vibes. It's all about how can we make an audience feel good, you know? And we're at the I believe we're in George Bush Senior's administration at this point. You know what I mean? It's not the Reagan era anymore. You're not in like the Reagan, you know.
Well, yeah, like this
was in.
And a few years from this, everyone's going to be looking back like, again, like it's funny that the Reagan years is like a thing that gets brought up, but it's funny like now we look back and we go, damn you, Reagan.
Yes, exactly.
So
But then it was like this golden
yeah,
era.
it's this golden era. And then like we got like, you got all the, I mean, at this time, New York City, a lot of places were, like just kind of rougher than they have been. And so a little more violence and everything around. But just like, the whole idea of bad emotions and bad like just meanness and like vile feelings turning into a physical substance.
Yes,
and
I love that.
Be like is just it's such an interesting conceit, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is.
so it's when you think of like, oh, you can like scoop up this like jar of hate or something, but then also having it turn on its head where, if you are positive to this substance, it becomes a like this like beatable like force of good kind of a thing, like a substance that like can just like, again, at the end we see Janosch and Ray get blasted in it, and they're just like, I love that. It's like, man, I want some of that shit. Like just like
man.
you can imagine being at a club and someone just hoses you down with this shit and just like, it's like E.
I love you.
It's just like E. I love you.
It's
hey, man,
if you take
let me
ecstasy,
tell you something.
You take an ecstasy, you're like, I love you, man. I love you. This feels so nice in my hands. I love that there's a true feeling of unity by the end of this movie. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that in the first one, you having to set up a franchise by accident, like obviously not an accident. You're having to set up something that was just supposed to be a movie. Now it's a franchise. Now you're following an original, you're following a cartoon, you don't know what's next. And A9 to me really does have this charm that I almost the Phantom Menace had. It's pure. It's a very pure movie.
Yeah.
The movie, honestly, I feel like in the same way, no one was told no when writing this movie. Kind of like George was not told no. They saw that Ghostbusters 1 was such a huge hit that the second one might as well be a big hit. And I can almost guarantee you, let's look at the numbers. I bet it did just as good. But in the long run, people were like, I don't know if I like this one as much. Hold on. Ghostbusters 2.
Well, I've had people tell me, I've had like friends tell me like, they brought in a baby for this one. So that always means they don't have any ideas when a baby's
exactly.
I had a friend tell me that. I'm like babies, I'm sorry, they shake up life.
the budget,
it's a great story. It's a good story point.
Was between 30 and 40 million. The return, let me see if I can find the return of it. The return, its success was 215 million. It was a success. This is 89. This is a sequel from a movie that's 5 years old, and it made so much more in return. It made almost $200 million in return. Let's look at the first Ghostbusters budget then. Hold on. I'm just curious because it's not really how you determine a movie's success, but it's definitely a way to look at it.
Well,
Ghostbusters 1 was 30 million and its return was 295 million. Okay.
Yeah, so they had a lot of confidence in this one.
Yeah, and it's only 60 million less. I'm sorry. It's only like 75 million less than the other one, which really isn't that bad. It's not It's not going to exceed it. It's not Empire Strikes Back, but it's certainly an amazing movie. I mean, like, like I think if you think about it from a financial point of view, it still did very well. If you think about it from a critical point of view, at least from my perspective, I don't know what anyone was expecting. You're not expecting like a groundbreaking thing with Ghostbusters 2. The first one is an established like this mythology that could be there's no force. There's no like super duper lore to it. It's still rooted in reality. It's not a movie that's going to supersede the thing that came before it because it's very much a movie. It's a sci-fi movie. Unlike most things, it's a sci-fi movie that's rooted in current reality. Whereas when you see sci-fi in the theaters, it's always a Blade Runner or it's a Dune, or it's a Star Wars or it's a Star Trek where it's so far removed from modern day that there's no intrigue. There's no relation. So I really do think it's stupid that people say it's not as well. You could say it's not as good, but you certainly can't say it's not as successful because it really was a successful movie. And I don't get the negativity towards that. I really don't. I like this one more, to be honest with you. I really do.
It's honestly, yeah, it gets more hate than it deserves, frankly.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, it's one of those things, you know, people always, there's the cliche that like, oh, the sequel's always bad and
Yeah.
everything. And like, I just like, man, I take it on a case by case basis, you know.
This is a hot take. Travis Mitchell, this is hot as hell.
Star Wars, okay, all right. Better than Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2 is better than Empire. That is a take. That is a take. And I'm not going to say no.
I enjoy Ghostbusters 2 a lot. Now, if I watched Empire and that one after another, I don't know if it'd be as lifted as I am after Empire, but after this, I'm definitely, dude, we laughed the whole time. And there was no lines that missed. No lines that missed.
Okay.
2 is better lines.
For a second, when you catch up with Peter and he's doing World of the Psychic, how fucking great is that? See, we're probably going to talk like favorite sequences and stuff, but like that might be my favorite sequence of the entire movie and stuff. And I told you it's one of my favorite comedic scenes in any movie.
Yeah.
Just because it's so, you have Bill Murray in his prime doing the, like, I'm built like, listen, I watch The Office and I love John Krasinski and he's great at reactions at the camera, but I mean, Bill Murray walked so he could run in this right here. I mean,
100%.
look at like just the way he's like he's talking to the first guy. He's got the first guy who's very serious and is actually, I don't know if y'all realize, a lot of you probably don't realize. Well, a lot of you probably did. I don't know. Anyway, like he's the guy at the beginning. Like, I predict that the world is going to end on the stroke of midnight at New Year's Eve, right? Yeah, the whole and stuff. And he's right. He's predicting what's happening in the movie.
He predicted the end of the movie. Great. Hilarious. I love it. And like,
which you've got him like going back, like, what shouldn't you say 1994 or 1997? But the best is when he starts talking to his other guest, and she's talking about meeting the alien in the Holiday Inn Paramus. And just like the first, like as soon as she starts saying what it is, like you see him like look away, not at the camera, but just like go, oh God, oh shit. and they're like, as soon as like she says, like he took me to his room, he like looks deadpan right into the camera. It's just like the funniest shit, man. I don't even know.
So good.
So your alien had a room at the Holiday Inn Paramus.
And then like here's a great line. Here's a great hairless pets. He's holding that cat. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, I want to bring this up real quick. I love this, Charlie. I've always thought of Twitter as the mood slime from Ghostbusters 2. It amplifies the mood put out by people, which is generally, unfortunately, negative. Yeah. But every now and then, unless this part here, every now and then there are small glimmers of hope when a toaster starts dancing. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, I get it. No. It sings. It sounds just like him.
Dude, it's so funny to watch you watch this movie because you've seen it way more than I have. And like it's like watching a very comfortable movie so whenever joy. I watch. Yes. Yeah. I see you truly relaxed and comfortable because you're going home. You know what I mean?
Right.
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Valentine's
Great
Day.
Line.
Bummer.
It's the lines. The lines are so good. Oh man. Oh yes. Okay.
Y'all keep giving us your favorite lines too, because I love it. I'm loving it.
My favorite sequence is when they go and see Egon. That shit.
That's also great.
I was dying.
I
thought it was so funny.
Best. That is the best Egon scene. That is the best Egon scene in the whole franchise.
In the last movie, he didn't have as many humor bits. He had some good ones.
No,
but not.
He had that good. Like the introduction's great. The
yeah.
Then you know, this reminds me of the time you tried to drill a hole in your own head. That would have worked if you hadn't stopped me. He's got the great dry. He's so dry. Like Venkman is dry, but in a sarcastic way. And Egon is just like matter of factly, just like, I'm gonna just say some shit that is off the wall bonkers.
What did he do? So he has the couple arguing. He goes, "We're seeing if emotion can affect the energy of a room," and then
we're seeing if emotions affect the actual environment.
Yes.
We've told them they're here for marriage counseling, and we've kept them waiting for how long did he say?
2 hours.
It was like 2 hours. We kept them waiting for 2 hours.
And every 30 minutes, and they amp up the heat by
They
5
up the
degrees.
font.
So funny. And so
we're up to 90. We're up to
and
95
so
degrees.
he goes, and one of our interns are gonna go in there right now and let him know it's gonna be 30 more minutes. And he walks in and he's like, "Hey, it's gonna be 30 minutes." The guy's screaming at him. They're trying to be nice. The door closes.
It's all silent too. That's what's so
Yes.
funny about it. It's like they're like, it's a two-way mirror, like a full floor to ceiling two-way mirror,
So
so they or one-way
funny.
mirror, so they can't see in. And
Ugh.
just like the man when he's like checking himself in the mirror, it's just
Yeah.
so.
And he turns back
Oh,
around. He's
man.
like screaming at her. Yeah, I just love that. In the next room, it's a little girl, and she's what was she told? She was told
She was just playing. Well, they bring in a puppy and give it to her and
Yes.
everything, and he's like, "Oh, good, very good," and stuff, and like, and they kind of go off about their conversation. My favorite thing is when Sigourney Weaver, Dana is like talking about Peter, and she goes, "Does he say anything about me?" And he turns to, she's facing away from him. He turns and goes, "No." Like he thinks for a second, says no, and then scans.
Yes. Such a good beat. You would almost miss it if you didn't understand the whole point of his character. He is just such a clever character to me, and I do love
I miss Harold. I miss him so much. He's been gone for. I can't believe he's been gone for 10 years. And like, but you get like, I'll leave a lot of the mourning and the crying and all that stuff for when we talk about Afterlife.
Yes.
But and the flowers are still standing. Wrong movie, but glad you're here. Thank you. Yes, they're still standing. What did I tell you? The power lines are over there. Yeah.
God, it was so good. Look at this one.
Yeah, it's like, you guys are with the phone company, so tell me another one. I got a major gas leak here. Where do you think all this is coming from? The sky?
Why? The sky.
So good.
Look at this one, Charlie said.
Oh, I was trapped in an elevator for 2 hours and had to make the whole time. Or hold on, I gotta say it like you can't do this without sounding like Lewis.
I do it.
I was trapped in an elevator for 2 hours and I had to make the whole time, but I don't blame them because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Lewis. Short but pointless.
But pointless.
My favorite. Okay, now we're just quoting. Now we're just quoting lines and stuff like that, which is like it's a testament to again how quotable and how funny this movie actually is. My favorite from that courtroom scene, by the way, is whenever he's talking and he's kind of repeating what Peter's saying, and then the other attorney goes, objection, he's leading the witness to like sustain.
Yeah,
Lewis turns around and goes, "Give me a break. We're both lawyers."
Dude, I love this line.
Oh,
This is one of the best lines.
Good. It's so good.
So why are you came?
So why are you came?
Dana?
Yeah. How is the baby?
Oh my God. Yeah. I just love that this movie, the feeling of it. We got to talk about it too. Man, good Lord. Janine is so effing hot in this
That's
movie.
all we're doing right now. You're right, Brian.
Yeah. Remember that line?
Remember that line? Hey, you remember the time? Remember the time the one guy said the one thing? All right. What were you
Dude,
saying?
Janine is so fine in this movie. Oh, Annie Potts. I almost called her Pepper
Annie
Potts.
Potts.
Annie Potts is
Annie Potts
so
is a
fine in this movie.
beautiful, beautiful woman. Still a beautiful woman.
It's
Absolutely.
the voice and the makeup. Good Lord.
Well,
hold on.
Janine has just always been just this like I don't know, like Janine is like that's the type of girl you want to bring home to mom. You know what I mean?
I don't know,
like,
man.
Like you don't think so? You don't think so? I don't know.
Maybe your mom.
Maybe not to mom. Maybe not to mom. No, mom. We know. Well, yeah, my mom won't get anything that she says. So,
nah, Janina's damn fine.
Are we gonna listen? Is this what we're devolving into? This is what we're devolving into.
Look at this.
Yes, I am drippings with goo.
Kill me. This is amazing. She could step on my throat.
Yes.
But in all seriousness, it's all
right,
serious, folks.
All right.
Yes, I do like what they do also with how would I say this? You have these characters, they're still just as funny as they were before. And they don't need to be anything but themselves. Like they're not trying as hard. You know what I mean? Like there's no trying when you watch this. And look, this is the movie. Show them their hat. It brings up Raise a Cult, which is like it plays into all the other movies, which is pretty cool.
This is like, Raise a Cult again is gonna play a big part in the new film and everything. It debuts in this film, and everything. Which again, I love the realness of this franchise too, where it's like, that we got to go get other jobs because this isn't really paying the bills anymore, But one thing we did talk about too that's really great about these movies, especially the first two, and I think we're going to get a little more of it in this new one because we didn't get the guys in the in Afterlife as much.
Yeah.
But this is just such a good movie, like a buddy movie. It's such a good buddy movie. The way that the four guy, like that, Ray, Winston, Egon, and Peter all interact with each other.
They all play off each other.
It's so wholesome.
Fantastic.
It's fun. It feels like a real friendship.
Yeah.
And everything. Like there's the moment, like we talked about the toaster a little bit. We've mentioned it, like Charlie mentioned it in the comments.
Yeah.
That moment with the toaster. That scene, that's like you hanging out with your buddies. That's your friends. You're hanging out. Those are people who like hang out every day and love to hang out every day, right?
That's good.
And like just like people who can like be around each other no matter what. Just like that. Like it's the part at the end where Peter pretends to get it like his hand eaten by the toaster. And they're all like, oh, get it, kind of thing. It feels so, you fell for the old man eating toaster trick.
Yeah.
It's just it's so wholesome. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love movies like that. Like it's that's so comforting. It's so fun. It's just it's a good, like you're saying, it's a warm blanket. It's going home.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Yes, Reed, absolutely good writing, funny characters, and honestly, I don't know. So again, there is a big documentary. They made the people who made Cleaning Up the Town, which I would recommend if you're a Ghostbusters fan. If you haven't seen it, it's a documentary on the making of the first Ghostbusters. It's Ghostbusters.
You said it's great.
It's Cleaning Up the Town. Remembering Ghostbusters. There is a sequel coming out. I forget what it's called, but it's about Ghostbusters 2 by the same people.
Okay.
I'm ready for that. It's not out yet. I wish that it was out. So
will it be out before
we're doing this?
Before
I'm not sure. There's no release date right now. It says this year, but that's all we've got. So, but anyway. All that to kind of say that this hold on here. I'm trying to say there's a lot of what do you call ad-libbing in the first that we didn't know. In fact, we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it on our podcast, but the famous scene where they go to talk to the mayor was mainly riffed. That was all the lines, the famous lines that are in there were riffed, which is, I was like floored to find out. It makes me wonder how much of this was riffed as well.
This one feels way more kinetic in terms of their interactions. So I feel like it might have been riffed. And like, if you can do it and still stick to the script, by all means do it. And Charlie has a good question right here. Do you think we'll see Oscar in Frozen Empire or the next sequel? Who would you cast if so? Damn, I don't know.
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Who would I cast? Because a lot of people thought James Acaster when they saw him in the trailers was Oscar at first.
Yeah.
So Oscar would be like about my age. And so he'd be in his 30s at this point. So he's a full grown man. So let's try to think of
there's no way it would be Patton Oswalt's character. Right?
No,
I mean, like,
no, not Patton. No, I think he'd be about the same age as Gruberson, who was like a kid when I think the Ghostbusters. I think technically he was a kid when the Ghostbusters first saved New York back in the day.
Let me look it up. Famous actors in their 30s.
Trying to think,
like now, dude. But if they got Adam Driver.
Wondering. Adam Driver. I'm trying to think of a blanket. Honestly, you know what would be really funny, and I'm not saying they should do this but like, if you got Chris Hemsworth,
that's
in the 2016
I just
sequel,
saw his name.
If you have Chris Hemsworth like play Oscar, because he's the little blonde kid in the I know baby, the hair can change. but it would be funny to bring him back into the franchise as that role, kind of a thing. You're like, oh,
Andrew
Oscar really
Garfield.
grew up nicely. Andrew Garfield could be, he's in his 30s. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Henry Cavill. Could you imagine Superman?
Oh God.
That'd
I don't know
be
about Henry
the
Cavill.
Craziest thing. Eddie Redmayne? Nah, he wouldn't be as good. I would have this one funny because you got to think maybe they'll address Oscar and Frozen Empire. You never know. I was wondering.
We got to see. I don't know if Sigourney's in it or not.
Yeah, well, look,
Chris Hemsworth did still, and Scotty hasn't seen the 2016 one. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it together, and he'll see.
I'm excited.
Andrew Garfield's 41.
Okay.
But yeah, no. I'm trying to think through some of the younger stars that are kind of out there right now that I think should get a shot at it, probably. But I don't know if old Paul Atreides himself,
Timothée Chalamet, that'd be
Timothée
incredible.
Chalamet.
He's my age.
That would
He's
be pretty
28.
nice.
He's 28.
So it would be a little younger and stuff. I mean, maybe that, I don't know if that would work out or not, but I don't know. Who are y'all? John Krasinski. That's an interesting one.
That'd be amazing.
Haley
Joel Osment.
I like that. Haley Joel. Honestly, I want it to be Haley Joel Osment. That would be so
Macaulay
fucking cool.
Culkin. Could they get the
Macaulay
original
Culkin.
actor? What was the original actor's name? I doubt they could get him because it's twins.
They were twins. They were twins. I don't think they do anything anymore.
Hayden Christensen.
What if you got I was just saying Hayden Christensen. What if you got Hayden Christensen in there?
Elijah Wood's like in his early 40s.
Yeah.
Oh man, this could be good.
It'd be interesting. No, and honestly, I don't know if he's going to show up because it seems like what we've gotten in the trailers seems like Venkman shows up maybe midway.
Yeah.
Possibly even towards the end.
Yeah.
Seems like after everything's frozen, Venkman shows up. So we may not get a ton with him. So we've got all these new characters to kind of like play around with and everything like that, which I'm very happy for.
Of course.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's going to be like Afterlife exactly, but I'm just saying like it feels like he's there for maybe the last half of the movie and stuff like that. Did you say the actor, like one of them or both of the babies? The kid who played they both pass away? Oh, that's right. I think I did hear that. Those kids are passed on. Well, that's too bad.
Do you want to watch a deleted scene from Ghostbusters?
I think we probably should. We've been kind of like going around. Listen, guys, I don't know if you've seen this. This is one that I haven't seen, and I found today, and I was thinking that maybe we should have Scotty react to this on here. But this is just it's a fun little scene with Lewis trying to get the guys out of the sanitarium. And his cousin is a pretty you probably see it at the top there. There was an actor who was supposed to play his cousin who is a pretty big name, Mr. Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. We're gonna get just the beginning of this clip because this kind of goes into like script nonsense and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's check this deleted scene.
I'm so excited.
Ray, I just heard the news on the radio and it started.
Great. We're stuck in here. Meanwhile, out there, we're looking at shitstorm 1990.
Well, I hope nothing happens before I finish my pothole.
You know, it reminds me of a book I've been reading. It's called The End of the World.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, well, this guy says the world's going to end New Year's Eve 1990. That's tonight.
Oh, no. The world's going to end in
That's that guy's book.
1997.
Who told you?
My dog,
What kind of dog you got?
French poodle.
What are you, crazy? You can't trust a poodle. They're habitual liars, the whole breed. You can't trust any of them. They can't help themselves.
Any chance of busting out of here?
Come on, Sherm. You gotta do this for me. I'm begging you. You're my cousin.
Are you out of your gourd? I can lose my job, Lewis. I can't do it.
Yes!
I don't want to lose my license.
Well, can't you just release him? You're a doctor.
I'm a dermatologist. I can't write orders on a psych ward.
Dude.
Would you do it for me as a personal favor, as a family member? I've done so many favors for you, Sherman.
Oh. Yeah, right. Like that tax shelter thing? Underground golf?
What about Diane Troxler? I went and fixed you up with her and she put out right away. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I had to give her free dermabrasion for a year. Look, forget it, Louis. I can't do it. I'm getting lots of trouble.
We're gonna be in real big trouble if we don't move fast. That ghost guy came in and took that little baby away. It was just a scared little baby.
Then go to the police, Louis. Because I don't believe in any of this.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and pause it here. So yeah, you have the script here. They didn't shoot any of this, but he looks out the window and sees so whenever the mayor looks out and sees the total eclipse happening,
yes,
and everything goes, we got somebody give me the Ghostbusters. It was gonna be Sherman seeing that happen, and then them going, and so they get them out. Lewis promises that he can get a ride in the car.
Yeah.
And that's how he gets him to help him. And at the very end, as they're talking, Lewis and his cousin are talking to them. They get into the car and just drive away without Lewis or him. And Lewis goes, "Hey, wait, I was gonna get a ride with you guys." And stuff like, "Oh, it's okay," kind of a thing.
God.
But dude, that voice, Eugene Levy, man, can you imagine?
Incredible.
I think that they brought that character back for the real Ghostbuster comics as well, because I saw in there they have a little screenshot of a comic panel, and it's him saying, "Hey, this is my cousin. Eugene." Or not Eugene. I forget what was it? Sherman. My cousin Sherman. Sherman
What
Tully.
What a great way! The glass. They both did the glass at the same exact time. I'm like, that is just so clever. Oh man, I love this movie.
Oh man,
I would love to see.
Right.
So, for those that don't know, the third movie is, of course, the video game, technically, because it was written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. But I would have loved to have seen the follow-up of this movie a couple years later. That would have been such a fever dream. And with AI, we can. I'm just kidding.
Your damn mouth. No, so in that, so the game again, if they keep it where it is, and I contend that until I see Frozen Empire and it makes me think otherwise, that the timeline can still technically work because it's 30 years between that and Afterlife. But at the game takes place like a year after this. It takes place in 1991. So that is what it kind of would have been, and so they've tried over the year. There was a few times they tried to do a Ghostbusters 3, like I think they did try to do one in the late 90s.
I think there was scripts and everything.
2000s. Right? Well, early 2000s, there was going to be one. I remember hearing rumors about how there was one where like Venkman or someone goes to hell and everything. And I think that ended up being that's a comic book, actually.
Oh, okay.
There's a comic book where Venkman gets or they get dragged into hell and they got to go get him or something. But that would have been a great movie. Can you imagine a movie where they're just infiltrating hell? How bonkers that would have been.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. Could you imagine
how trippy? How trippy it would have been.
It would have been like Bill and Ted Bogus Journey, the second Bill and Ted movie, where they do go to hell and they go to heaven and they go to a place in between. They time travel a little bit too. Yeah, that
right.
I would have liked to have seen that.
They were going to bring in a lot of new, I think they were going to have new Ghostbusters in there. I think Adam Sandler was a name thrown around.
Holy shit!
Seth Rogen. Adam Sandler, Seth Rogen, a few of those guys were kind of having their names thrown around and being put in there. But again, so we're on this timeline now where we had our 2016 Ghostbusters, which we have our own thoughts on it and everything like that. I don't think it's necessarily horrible.
I have no idea. I can't wait to see it.
I'm interested to hear Scotty's thoughts on it, but I don't hate it. But then we've got this new Ghostbusters, which I'm sure plays a little on the success of Stranger Things a little bit, like a lot of things kind of do, which I feel like it works for Ghostbusters. I feel like the Stranger Things feel works for that.
I
with
agree.
kids kind of like finding this kind of stuff. Because again, this franchise was made for everyone, but they marketed it heavily to kids.
Of course.
But anyway, Ghostbusters 2. Oh, imagine Judge Reinhold is one of the Ghostbusters in Ghostbusters 3. He would have been great. That would have been pretty great.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, that would've been
absolutely.
cool.
It would have been, man, Judge Reinhold in this would have been pretty great. Let's see, Adam Scott, Boyd Holbrook would have been good as Oscar.
Ooh,
you guys got that's
Charlie
good.
Day. Charlie Day would have been
Charlie Day.
amazing as Oscar. Are
Charlie
you
Day would
kidding
be
me?
pretty great.
Holy shit, that'd be awesome. I'm a Ghostbuster now.
I like these. I like these.
I just hope it's
Hey,
something,
Dad.
something that I want to see from these movies, at least with Frozen Empire, and I think it'll promise on it. I want the humor to be as poignant, and they kept saying this. I don't know if I know you. They say this one's pretty scary, like actually scary. Like there was a couple of jumps
Right.
in the afterlife, but they said this Frozen Empire is actually going to be pretty frightening for a movie, like actually scary. So I hope that's really a guarantee. I don't know.
Well,
'Cause
I mean,
this one
with these movies, there's always the creepy elements, especially
yes, it's always
in 1 and 2.
creepy. Yes,
Mhm.
but I hope 2 is not as creepy as 1. Afterlife is certainly creepy, but I actually hope Frozen Empire is scary. Like I hope I'm like, oh shit, like this is making me nervous. You know what I mean?
It'd be a lot
But
of fun. Yeah.
yeah, man.
The villain
what
looks
else?
great. We have Garaka
Villain's
coming. Who
amazing.
looks
Garaka.
absolutely insane.
Yes. So I wanted to ask you, what else in terms of this movie, Ghostbusters 2, have you wanted to discuss? Is there anything else that you wanted to really focus on when it came to this movie?
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can just talk about to you can dissect every scene if you wanted to. I mean, we kind of just quoted lines for half an hour, which was
Same
great.
difference.
But yeah, absolutely. Hey, I had fun with it anyway. But I mean,
But is there something else to
let's
this
just
movie
talk
that-
about that ending sequence, by the way. The
God.
Let's talk about that final confrontation and everything, and how I don't know about you, but to me, like you have all these people who are like, why are we turning Ghostbusters into superhero franchise, things like that? Which I mean, sure, whatever, but at the same time, these are like ghost hunting, not superheroes,
Yeah.
just like these. It is a heroic thing. They
It
are
is.
saving the world.
Exactly.
So technically, they are kind of like they're these crazy scientists who figured out a way to save us from supernatural threats. Right?
Yeah.
And that just the whole build up to with the slime and like how we can possibly charge it, and then they cover the inside of the Statue of Liberty.
So cool.
If you just suspend your disbelief and just go with the vibes of this movie. I mean, we talked about it already. It's such a fun sequence. It's such a good it feels very uplifting, like we were talking about earlier. It feels uplifting. Of course, you get the higher and higher and all that kind of stuff. It's just like when they crash through the window. Oh, there we go. Crash through the window. They go down, like and save the day. They save a baby. Angelina, yet again.
Save a
I don't
baby,
know, man.
dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Travis, I'm disappointed. Why the jumpsuits aren't used more in the movie, despite being on all the promotional material. Yeah,
They're
it's really cool. I love that they used them. I love they used them when they went to that jewelry store, the crystal store, where all the stuff was floating, and they had those weird contraptions, like trap type of things. They just fire off a laser and everything falls. Just like there's just a lot of really cool flavor in these movies. And that's what I'm hoping for in this new one. I think this new one's going to be a big homage to the cartoon. Honestly, the more I see,
I love that you say that.
They just released a trailer. They just released a trailer again. If you don't want any spoilers, cut out now or whatever. But like, apparently the Ecto gets possessed. And that is an episode, straight up an episode of the animated series.
Oh, and I love that. That's great. They'd be like if the Falcon didn't comply. I kind of love that idea.
Yeah, It's a fun,
That's
it's a
cool
fun
as
concept
shit.
and stuff. So see, in
Oh,
this
I
franchise, you
cannot
can
wait.
do stuff like that. You can
Yeah.
you can kind of do wacky, crazy things.
Of course.
You know, because it's like, well, we're dealing with spiritual, supernatural things like that.
Yes.
But anyway, I don't know. Do you have any last thoughts on Ghostbusters 2 or anything, Scotty?
I love this movie. I honestly, what I'm gonna do, because I know once Frozen Empire is coming out, they usually like you got Dune for like what $5 recently? Didn't you get like the first
Yeah.
Dune?
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think when Frozen Empire comes out, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a sale on all those movies. So I'm gonna buy Afterlife. I'm gonna buy all of them just so I can have them all, and I'm gonna rewatch Ghostbusters 2 like probably on repeat. Like after I just it's a comfort movie now. I watched
It's
it. I'm
a
like, damn,
great mo-
I
isn't it great?
love this. Yeah. It was amazing. And I wonder, I'm sure they might have some bundles right now on Amazon Prime Video. Let's just look.
We'll have to
Prime
see.
Video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to rewatch this one again and again and again because I like the way I love the way it made me feel. Genuinely, I did. It was a very happy movie, and I love
it's
a happy
warm,
movie.
comforting. Absolutely.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, man. Not
No.
everything does, and I love that.
Well, it does in some ways. Like it's enough that you can. It's an adventure, right?
Yes.
You know, like, and I know people like again because you have people saying like, oh well, you know, it's supposed to be a comedy. It's strictly just a comedy, and it's the fun thing about Ghostbusters is it's everything. It's really funny people in crazy, insane situations, and but it is just it doesn't. It's not something that you have to have watched a million hours of things. Like again, like you can watch 3 movies and be ready for the new one. And honestly, I could even say you could probably just watch the first Ghostbusters and be able to go to this new one fine. You know,
I agree.
maybe Afterlife. But
I agree.
It's not a turn your brain off, but it's relaxing. It's comfortable. I like that. And I like that you need franchises like that. So
it doesn't.
Also, I'm hoping that Fortnite brings back their Ghostbusters shit because I'm gonna buy all of it if Fortnite. So
I didn't even think
they had it. I
about
think where you
that.
could like make it's like an avatar of like you can make or something with a Ghostbusters jumpsuit and stuff like that.
That's really
which would be pretty
cool. See, this is also from Travis. I didn't realize how much of a big fan you were. If you want to like message and reach out to us, email us, like please, because we can have someone else come and talk about this if you want to talk about it. Like I like hearing these thoughts from the fans. Charlie invited himself on, so in 2 weeks we'll have him on to talk about the video game.
Absolutely, yeah, we're gonna have Charlie on too.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I love this movie. Thank you for watching with me. Thank you for sharing this movie with me because this is a special moment to you. And like this,
so fun.
Obviously this build up we've been talking about this. Look, and I'll show you again for those that are going to tune in later to the other streams. Jerry has been wanting to cover Ghostbusters, and we took a whole 6 weeks out of our schedules to talk about nothing but Ghostbusters. So as you can see it right here, like here's the full layout. This Tuesday coming up, we're doing a podcast with the actual music, the lost media. So like maybe even the comics, some of the stuff that y'all might like next Thursday.
Some kind of stuff, yeah.
We're gonna watch some old videos, some old commercials. Then we got the podcast in 2016, another live show on the game, then Afterlife, kind of like a let's revisit this before the new movie comes out, and then I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be great.
I love this doing this to you. I really do. There we go.
I do as well. Look at that.
There's Vigo.
We're back. We're back, baby.
The dark suits. The dark suits are a lot better. I agree. I love the dark suits. The elbow pads.
Oh, thank you so much, Buck. Yeah. No, those
I
dark
love
suits
you, Buck.
are too.
That's right.
Well, see, like we really hope you guys are enjoying this and stuff because we know
it's different.
It's like we will dip our fingers into stuff that's not Star Wars if it's like Star Wars adjacent. And this kind of like ILM worked on these, which ILM works on anything with special effects these days,
of course.
But I'm just happy that some of y'all are having a good time with this.
I agree.
Because that like we didn't want to come in here and like do anything like too like informative and stuff. Like maybe you'll get a little information and stuff out of it, but we just wanted like good vibes and
probably
just fun and just hype.
Probably next
week we'll probably get some
media stuff. That's very informative. You know more about that than I do at all. And like
I'm about to finish all the episodes that you can get on iTunes right now. So I'm about at the end of those. So
that's exciting.
And I've got a definitive list of the best episodes, of the episodes that I really enjoyed, and also episodes that just did some weird shit. And and I can't wait to talk about all of the weird ass episodes that they have in there, because
I can't
they
wait.
they took some swings with that show. Weirdly meta in a few episodes too. It's kind of crazy.
You've
how
told
often
me that.
there's a few episodes where they talk about how they're on TV and they make it look like you're watching on a TV.
So weird.
Anyway, it's interesting.
I love that.
So yeah.
Yeah. I love you.
Yeah. I love you too.
No,
I love you.
But
I love you too.
This next podcast talking about the music of Ghostbusters, including
my goodness,
the soundtrack, and
Look
we
at
got
that
Thompson. We got the Thompson twins. We've got
right. We do.
Elmer Bernstein. We've also got which in no relation to Leonard Bernstein, not at all. Even though they were composers, they were friends. That's about it. We've got Ray Park Jr. and we've got the members of I think the what do they call them? It's the ones from the first movie, the staff.
Bus Boys.
The Bus Boys. That's
Boys.
it. The Bus Boys.
That song. That
Great
song from the Bus Boys cleaning up the town. So fucking good.
Great song.
Anyway,
look at this.
Do I have a playlist? You know what? I'll put out a playlist. So honestly, listen to if you want to be up to date, just listen to honestly, the first two soundtracks are really good. They're really good, like from wall to wall. The second one especially. And I might even throw in a couple songs from Answer the Call, which is what the tagline that kind of gave to the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of them on there that I enjoy. So we're gonna talk about it all. Oh, covers the Walk the Moon does cover the theme song on that one. But yeah, no, like the classic soundtracks is what we're going to focus on, but we are going to be giving some love to that 2016 soundtrack again.
Hell yeah, brother.
Come here, guys. Come here and hang out. Scotty and I both love music. Something we don't talk about as much, maybe. Well, like Scotty talks about it a little more than I do. But I'm excited to get that stuff going on. So yeah, we'll get it out there. Maybe I'll put out a playlist or something of just
let's see in the chat. Let's just say Apple Music or Spotify, because we can do both. I can make one on my Spotify account or Spotify. What do you like? What do we use here? Jerry and I both use Apple Music.
Most people probably use Spotify. But yeah, the hometown hero from the show. Hold on. Song Hometown Hero from the show is on more. I've been looking for that one. I can't find that one on iTunes anymore. Like you got to like find that one somewhere. Like they had someone actually wrote songs for the cartoon in the first few seasons and everything. Yeah, the Hometown Hero is actually a great 80s bop.
Isn't that fun that we can go up here and have a good time and talk about a sequel to Ghostbusters and have a consistent
really
viewing? It's awesome. And this may not be the only time we talk about Ghostbusters 2, but for a while, since we're covering all this, we wanted to make it worth it. And Frozen Empire coming out, this has been like our build up to it. This is our Ecto countdown, as we called it. And I love that we can do this.
Baby.
We did it for Indiana Jones.
I love you so much.
We did it for
The
Rise of Skywalker. It's a big thing. It's a big deal.
We are dripping with the goo, and we are feeling the love tonight, and I'm loving it. I love all you guys in the chat. Listen, Scotty, I love you, man.
I love you, man.
I love you,
I love you, man.
Groovy.
I told you.
Groovy.
I feel groovy. Yeah. So stay tuned. We're gonna turn the music and talk about Bad Batch next Wednesday, live stream 7 p.m. And of course, we may drop a Dune thing. We will see. We don't know.
Dune will be there. Listen, we're covering Bad Batch still. Check us out doing that. Did you say that already? Maybe you said that already. Anyway.
Yeah, I did. Nipples out. Put Tabasco in your pee hole. And what should they do, Jerry?
Bad Batch.
What should they do?
You guys should where you came and stay bombad if you want to. Give me a break. I'm a lawyer too.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Jackie. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share.
What is it? Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top,
and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
come on, change. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yeah,
I'm asking him to change his ways.
no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Time for us to take a break, but we wouldn't dream of being gone for long.